Good afternoon, friends, honored guests, New Jersey chapter members, regional and National Alumni Association members, if you're joining us this afternoon. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to our 14th annual Eagles Image Awards Scholarship Program. My name is Betty Holloway, and currently I serve as secretary for our chapter. On this occasion, we recognize and honor our beloved university and our special guests and awardees who continue to uphold the vision of our founder. The most important voices we'll hear this afternoon will be from a current student who I am anxious to hear about current life on campus. So just a little bit about our history as a university and alumni association. The university accepted its first students in 1910. Dr. James Edward Shepard, our founder, was steadfast and refused to be swayed by popular thinking at the time, most notably the clash of ideology between Booker T. Washington and W.B. Du Bois. Dr. Shepard chose to incorporate a well-rounded learning environment for his students and worked hard to preserve the university as an institution of higher learning for African Americans that could be compared to the best of schools in the nation. He did not waver, even when Thurgood Marshall tried to get the transcript of a student seeking to enter graduate school at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He knew the implications and impact if he participated in a lawsuit seeking integration for Black students into white schools. He persisted and prevailed and did not release the transcript. Other details about this story are very intriguing. Today, HBCUs still face many challenges that threaten to shut them down, but we must persist. The Alumni Association was established in 1925, but there was no structure. It wasn't until 1959 that folks began to organize regionally. Two of our members, Dolores Bradley and Gwen Eddy, were part of that group that organized the New Jersey chapter 63 years ago. We persist and we prevail. By the way, we do have a picture of that group that organized our chapter. And by the way, we'd like to say happy birthday to two of our members turning 90 years old this month, I do believe, Dolores Anderson and Dolores Bradley and Mag Little, who are celebrating their 90th birthday. We are especially great honored for our guests. We're honored that and hope that our national president, Ms. Tamika Bowden, and Region 1 Vice President Dwayne Houston will be joining us. But I'd like to say welcome and hello to our Assistant Vice Chancellor for Alumni Relations, Ms. Lamisa Fox, who is on our program this afternoon. We owe a special thanks of gratitude to our member, Mr. William Best, who is from the class of 1974, and he is the Senior Vice President for Community Development Banking at PNC Bank. He is former president of the Rutgers University Board of Governors and Trustees. I like to mention his name because he has been a supporter of this scholarship event for many, many years. And we want to let him know how much we appreciate his solidarity and commitment to our chapter. And now please join me as we enjoy the Negro National Anthem.
We go
Our Master of Ceremonies for today's program is a very hardworking young man with big ideas. A man who for several years believed there should be an endowed scholarship fund at the university in the name of our New Jersey chapter. He persisted and he prevailed to establish said scholarship with the help of several dedicated New Jersey Alumni Association members. The minimum to establish the fund was $25,000. It was raised in 4 years instead of the required 5 years. To the students on the program today, just for your information, we have several New Jersey established endowed funds that you should look at on the University Scholarship website, including the Otha Taylor Scholarship Fund, named for our former president and established by his wife, Mrs. Gwendolyn Peace Taylor, the Carrie Booker Scholarship, established by Senator Cory Booker, and the Earlene Hatnot Scholarship Fund, established by the class of 1970. Before the COVID shutdown, Mike drove from Mount Laurel to Montclair for our meetings. He was determined and still determined to meet alumni where they are, even when we set up a Zoom account during the COVID shutdown. Still, he persisted on having a morning meeting for South Jersey and maintained the traditional afternoon meeting for members in the North. He has worn 2 or more hats for quite a long time now, but he has been able to convince some very talented Eagles to come to the nest. Now, some of you will be greeted during this program. Without further adulation, our president, class of 1974, Joseph Michael Lipscomb.
Thank you, Betty. I love the part where I'm a young man. I think that's pretty good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I love the young man part. Greetings to everyone. I would just like to give a few notes about our chapter and our progress over the years. We're not the largest alumni association by far, but we are one of the most productive. In 2020 alone, we gave $3,000. In 2021, $4,500. In 2022, 3,000 direct payment scholarships to the university on behalf of 3 New Jersey students in dire financial need to keep them enrolled at the university. Since 2019, as Betty mentioned, we started the New Jersey chapter NCCU Endowed Scholarship at NCCU, and we have gone over the $30,000 mark on our way to our $100,000 goal. Both these achievements would not have been possible without you, the audience, and fellow alumni in support. So we thank you. We also this year attended 3 recruiting college fairs, one in Plainfield, one in Jersey City, and one in Atlantic City, which was part of the week-long NAACP conference. Thanks for the leadership from our student liaison committee, Dr. LaDerrick Bullock and Adela Washington and others for helping to make that possible. Thank you so much. To keep going here, last December 18th, we helped plan and co-host actor Michael B. Jordan's HBCU Invesco Basketball Classic held at Prudential Center with help from the New Jersey chapters of NCA&T, Hampton, and Howard. The previous night, December 17th, we hosted the NCCU basketball team for dinner in a cozy Irvington restaurant. To thank would be an understatement, but the help of Brian Harris, Dr. LaDerrick Bullock, Al Rush, Betty Holloway, Joyce Moore, and Morris Lucky, among others. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for help planning the event and making it such a great success. Finally, this year, we co-hosted the NCCU North Carolina A&T football watch party this September 3rd, 2022 in West Orange. As some of you may know, it is a rivalry unlike most others, and it's always fun to get with fellow brethren and just cut up about each other. So thanks to everybody for making this year one of our best. I want to thank Jan Murphy and Brian Harris for putting together the NCCU A&T game, and it was a blast for those of you that weren't there. On another note, many of us do not get the opportunity to go to NCC to visit the campus. So what we have done, once again, is bring NCCU to you. In 2020, we presented you with the chancellor of our university, Dr. Johnson Akinlet. In 2021, last year, we presented you the chairman of the board of trustees, Mr. Kevin Holloway. So this year, instead of having high level university presentations, we are going grassroots. We are going eyeball to eyeball. Here to present after a 2-minute video will be one of our special presenters from NCCU. She has been one of the stalwarts that we interact with the university. I can't thank her enough for the opportunity she has given us. She'll come on right after this video. From Alumni Relations, Ms. Lamisa McCoy Fox, directly after this video.
Well, hello, Eagle family. I hope you are doing well this afternoon. And thank you, Heather, for bringing the presentation up. And Mr. Lipscomb, thank you for the invitation to join you today for the 14th Annual Eagle Awards Program. I bring you greetings today on behalf of the Office of Alumni Relations. I am a graduate of the class of 1995, and Denise Rayner, who's also a member of the team. She's unable to be here with us today, but she's class of 1982. We're, again, grateful for the opportunity to join you. And I hope, next slide, please, that you are excited and ready to return to the sloping hills and verdant green for the ultimate homecoming. We are approximately 14 days away, and we are working tirelessly to welcome you home. Each year during homecoming and reunion weekend, we welcome 10 classes celebrating milestone reunions back to campus. This year, the classes ending in 2s and 7s will be coming back to celebrate reunions. All classes will have an opportunity to participate in the all-class dinner and presentation of class gifts that will be held on Thursday, November the 3rd at 7 p.m. at the Sheraton Imperial. We will also recognize our golden class of 1972, who will be inducted into the Society of Golden Eagles during our 75th annual Founders Day program on Friday morning, November the 5th at 9 o'clock a.m. in the McDougall-McClendon Arena. We will also recognize our silver class of 1997, who will receive their silver pin during their silver class brunch and pinning ceremony, which will be held in the W.G. Pearson Banquet Hall immediately following Founders Day. We also have an alumni tailgate that will take place on Saturday, November the 5th. And there are still tickets remaining for those of you that are interested in participating and you have not purchased tickets and are returning. There are tickets available that can be purchased by visiting our homecoming website, and that's www.nccu.edu/homecoming. Next slide, please. Also like to highlight that we will host this year our alumni concert, which will be held on Friday night, November the 4th at 8 p.m. And as you see, we'll have Let It See Live with our special guest, our own Eagle, Marcus Anderson. Tickets for this event are $155, and they can also be purchased from our homecoming website. Next slide, please. Our office has partnered with Joy Cruises and Tours to offer group travel opportunities for alumni, family, friends, and faculty and staff. I have listed a few of the travel opportunities below that are available in 2023. But there are other opportunities for travel available for 2024 as well. So if you're interested in learning more about any of these trips or others that our travel agency has planned for us, please visit the NCCU eagletravel.com. We have several Eagles, including my teammate that will be traveling on a cruise in November. And so I think it's probably about 15 to 20 Eagles that will be participating with that cruise. So it's a really great opportunity for you to connect with Eagles, not just in New Jersey, but from all over. Next slide, please. We also have an NCCU alumni book club. We started our book club last July, so we've had one full year, and we have over 350 people that have registered for the alumni book club. And so our book for this period, we just started it October the 12th, I believe, and we will finish in December, and you read at your pace. There are questions posted on the forum, so you have an opportunity to answer questions and again, interact with other Eagles on a virtual platform. I encourage you, if you enjoy reading, to please join us on this platform for our alumni book club. And then our next selection will be in January. And I left the name of the book, but if any of you are interested in the book, learning about the book, it will be listed on our website at the end of November. And if you don't have time to sign up to read with us the Violin Conspiracy, then I encourage you to please sign up and read with us in the new year. I think you will really enjoy it. Next slide, please. So the things that I've listed are just a few ways for you to stay involved with us. And some of the collateral pieces that are shared, those have been emailed out. And if for any reason you have not received those, I encourage you to connect with our office to make sure that your contact information is updated. There's also a form that's listed on our website so that you can update your contact information. If there are different things that you're interested in doing to connect with students or other alumni, please complete the volunteer interest forms. And when there are opportunities that you have selected as of interest to you, we will reach out to you and see if you're available to volunteer. Many of you may have received earlier this week a request for individuals to participate in our Legacy Talk series. Our office, we are partnering with our Career Center, and it's an opportunity for you to share information about your career with current students. And there are some opportunities for you to do that virtually, because if you're not able to be in person, but that if that's something of interest to you, we sent that information out earlier this week. And if you have not received it, please reach out to our office and we can forward you that information if you're interested in participating. And I encourage you to make an annual gift. For the last 3 years, we have hosted our Day of Giving. And this last year, it was held in February. And so our plan is to host that annual Day of Giving again in February. And what we would like is for every Eagle to make a gift to the university every year. So every Eagle every year. So we will be sending out information as we get closer to remind you about that annual Day of Giving. And it will take place in February. So we will soon be sending out a save the date. I encourage you to attend programs and events. There, many schools and colleges are hosting virtual programs and events. And so even though you're not here in North Carolina, there's still an opportunity for you to participate in the programs that are planned by our schools and colleges, because quite a bit of time goes into planning the programs and events. And so we want you to attend so that you are able to stay connected and then to share that information with other Eagles that may not be as connected or involved as you may be. I also encourage you to follow us on our social media platforms, the university social media platforms, as well as the Office of Alumni Relations. Often we will share information on our social media Facebook page and our social media Instagram about upcoming events, or also to also share university announcements and other information with you on those platforms. Next slide, please. And I believe, oh. So there, I think there was one more, there it is. And so this is another way to stay informed. So there are quite a few, there's quite a few ways that we share information. We share it with our NCCU Now, and that's our quarterly publication. It's the alumni magazine that's usually mailed to your homes, but it's also on the NCCU website. And then we also have NCCU Eagle News. So our website has been refreshed. And so if you've not had a chance to visit the NCCU website, make sure you take some time to do that. www.nccu.edu. There are several pieces of information about what I call NCC in the news on the website. So I encourage you to visit our website. And then we've not shared an NCCU report on philanthropy for the past 2 years, but our plan is to have one out after the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023. And so that report on philanthropy just talks to you about, it shares how the money that you've given us, how it has been spent in support of the different programs and scholarships at NCCU. And so, and it's an opportunity for us to recognize you for your giving and thank you in our donor honor roll. And then the chancellor also does the NCCU Chancellor's Report. And so I did mention that it's been a couple of years since we have sent out the annual publication on philanthropy. But if you would like to see some of the reports that have been sent out in the past, all of this information, you can find it on our website. And if you've not had an opportunity to review the NCCU strategic plan, I encourage you to do that as well, which is also located on the website. And so these are just ways to stay informed and to know what's going on at our alma mater. And that's all I have. I thank you again for the invitation to join you today.
If anyone has any questions at this time, feel free to raise your hand or actually just unmute yourself so that you could ask those questions.
No question, just a comment. And the comment, excellent presentation. I see you working hard, and we will do all we can to uphold our responsibilities. And again, it's always good to be an Eagle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any others? Okay. Thank you so much. Mike, did you have any other words?
Can't thank Lamisa enough. She's been around for several years, and she always supports each and every alumni chapter there is. So on behalf of our chapter, thank you for, I know we took some of your time on Saturday. I know you hate it, but I know you love us too. So thank you very much.
I do. And again, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Okay.
And I look forward to seeing you on campus in 14 days if you're joining us, and travel safely.
Okay. Okay. As is our custom, we would like to know what is life currently like at the university. Many of us were university students once, some of us with no money, starving, living and studying from one day to the next, but we always had each other and lasting friendships to this day. Here to give us life of a student at NCCU now are two intriguing young students, both from South Jersey, and we are pleased to have them with us. First will be Mr. Austin Jones, and secondly, Ms. Ariana Harrell.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Austin Jones. I'm currently a senior at North Carolina Central, of course. a business major. A little background on me, I'm from Collinswood, New Jersey. Whole family from South Jersey, really. Lawnside, Collinswood, Camden, that area. But speaking on behalf of my fellow classmates, we're so much happier to be back on campus and in the presence of everyone else with the past 2 years of COVID-19, especially with new buildings and new student union and new student activity. It's nice to see people, nice to see everyone's faces. It's nice to conversate and get out, especially get out of your dorm and go to those fried chicken Wednesdays and go to those pre-dawns and stuff like that. My freshman year was 2019. We got cut off a little bit short because of COVID. So this is really, as a senior, this is my first year to have a whole first semester and second semester on campus. So even though I'm a senior, I'm still getting used to being back around everybody and doing everything how it was supposed to be before we got kicked out for COVID. It's nice to see all of my fellow Eagles in here. I'm trying to be alumni like you guys one day, graduate fall of 2023, everything said and well be. But yeah, school's good. New buildings is always nice on campus. Always nice to see new stuff coming around and things like that.
Okay, hi everybody. First, thank you for having me on the call and inviting me here. My name is Ariana Harrell. I am a senior, and I am also part of the track and field team here at Central. I am from Brownsville, New Jersey, and like I said, I'm a senior, so I will be graduating in May 2023, which I'm excited about. And honestly, like, they built a lot of amazing buildings that definitely have elevated the Eagle experience. So I'm just excited about that. And then obviously homecoming is coming up. I'm hoping to see a lot of you guys there. Maybe we can connect, at the tailgates and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just proud to be Eagle, and I appreciate every single one of you who have poured into me and my Eagle experience. So just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you guys.
Hey, Mike, can we ask a quick question?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hi, folks. This is Brian Harris. I'm up in West Orange, Essex County, New Jersey. Just wanted to ask a quick question. Your after graduation plans, are either of you planning on returning to New Jersey by chance?
No, sir. I'm trying to head down south, go to Atlanta.
How about you, young lady?
Yeah, I don't plan to come back home. I think after I graduate, I'm gonna actually move to Charlotte.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was very similar when I first left Central. I went to Atlanta immediately after graduation. But I can tell you this, don't discount New Jersey. There are a lot of opportunities here. It's just a little different. They're not necessarily on the surface. So you kind of have to dig in and connect and network. And that's what you have here on this Zoom call. You have some folks, plenty of resources, some folks you can connect with in the industries that you're seeking. So please don't forget about us. And if you come back to New Jersey, I'll be looking for you as a membership person to come on into this alumni chapter. Pardon me for a minute, that's the hot water. Be right back.
And I also like to say to both of you, congratulations on your time in North Carolina Central. But always remember, there's no place like home.
Absolutely.
To
Yes, sir.
Austin, you're a very impressive young student. I wish I was as impressive as you are now back then. And Ariana,
Thank you,
we
sir.
know
Thank you,
about
sir.
yeah, absolutely. And Ariana, we know about your exploits in track and field. All we have to do is just go on the athletic website, and she is a star on the track team. Thank you for your perseverance, and hang in there. And if we can be of any service to you, let us know.
I also wanted to add one more thing. If you guys are coming to homecoming, I am a part of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, so I will be in the step show. So if you are coming back for homecoming and you can make your way over to McDougal, please stop by the step show. You won't be disappointed.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have two outstanding alumni to honor today. Both bring honor and achievement not only to this chapter and university, but to the community at large and to this state. Both have given of themselves to help others to become better people. We couldn't have two better members of our association than these two. Here to present the first awardee, she was herself an awardee last year from the class of 1999, Miss Adela Washington. And then after that, our chapter vice president will bring forth the next awardee from the class of 1977, Mr. William Marsh.
Okay, good afternoon, fellow Eagles. It's always wonderful to be on the Image Awards with you again this year. And we just welcome our family and friends to celebrate along with us. It was so wonderful to hear from Austin and Ariana. They're doing wonderful things. And just remember, Austin and Ariana, we have your back. We are here to support you. You can call us for anything, anytime. Just let us know what you need and we'll do our best to make sure we can support you in any way. So today it is my great honor to introduce Rona Vega. And just to give you some background information about Rona, Rona and I met at a community event, and I've known about her work for years, but I didn't know until I think maybe 2 years ago, Rona, that we both were NCCU alumni. So it was just a wonderful surprise to find out about our connection there. Rona is a well-known leader in our community. She's a very respected member, along with her husband and her children. They all are do very well and really set strong examples for families here in our area in Teaneck and in Bergen County. And I just want to thank Rona publicly for all of her work for advocating for Black and Brown children in our communities. And she definitely works diligently, and she continues the legacy of excellence, which is North Carolina Central University. And she truly embodies truth and service in her work every day. And now I'm going to read Miss Rona Vega's bio. Rona Vega was born and raised in New York City and is the proud daughter of Margaret Lady Stark Spinster and John Jeffries. She's a multi-award-winning community leader and entrepreneur. As the founder and CEO of Parent Matters, she is on a worldwide mission to use her God-given gifts to help democratize access to opportunities by providing life-changing resources to historically excluded communities. Rona is a social disruptor, change agent, thought leader, dynamic motivational speaker, and a success coach. She's also the founder of Imagine Me, an empowerment group that encourages women to focus on self-care and pursue their dreams. Rona is humbled by the following awards: the 2022 YWCA NNJ Racial Justice Awards, the 2022 Hats for Hope Community Service Award, the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women Entrepreneurship Award, the Mayor Lizette Parker Community Relations and Professional Leadership Award, and the Zonta International Women of Achievement Award. Parent Matters has been featured on the Black Information Network radio show, sponsored by Geico, and the New Jersey PBS docuseries 21. Rona is a founding member of Teaneck Tea Talks, which was created by African-American and Orthodox Jewish women to hold space for courageous conversations among intergenerational and diverse groups of women. Rona is also a proud member of the following organizations: the illustrious Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Bergen County Alumni Chapter, Mocha Moms of Bergen County, which we're both Mocha Moms together, the Teaneck Democratic Municipal Committee. Rona is a proud wife and the mother of 5 amazing children. In her free time, Rona enjoys traveling to connect with her people of African descent around the planet and encourages others to do the same. Rona encourages everyone she meets to join on her a self-care, self-preservation journey, especially those doing service work. Rona is super excited to release her first 2 books, The Higher Level Method, What would I tell my younger self? And the Parent Matters Guide to Navigating Your Child's Education and Career Exploration. And now it is my honor to introduce Miss Rona Vega.
Wow, thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, North Carolina Central family and friends. Thank you, Queen Adelia, for that beautiful introduction and for introducing me to the New Jersey, North Carolina Central University Alumni Association. Thank you also for your personal support of me and my organization, Parent Matters, and for the great work that you do. I would like to take this opportunity to thank President Lipscomb and your committee for choosing me to be one of your 14th annual Eagle Image awardees. And to Brian Harris, my co-honoree, congratulations. Congratulations also to Ariana and Austin. I'm super proud of you both. I am deeply humbled and honored by this distinguished award, and I accept it with lots of Eagle pride. And in memory of my beloved mom who raised me and my siblings on the Lower East Side of New York City and made sure we got great exposure to opportunities and make sure we knew we were destined for greatness. She also instilled that in my 5 children, whom I'd like to shout out right now. 3 who attended HBCUs. Nadia graduated from Dell State University and resides in Washington, D.C. and is an entrepreneur and fitness and wellness coach. Janine received her undergraduate degree at Spelman and her master's at NYU and recently moved to Oakland, California to work with the University of California president doing public policy and diversity work. Teji recently graduated from Long Island University Post and is working as a consultant for Deloitte. He's also a saxophone jazz musician. And fun fact about Teji, we were out in California when he was 18 and he won a car on The Price is Right. Seti is a senior at Howard studying computer science information systems in the School of Business Honors Program. And Seti is currently studying abroad in Spain and joining us, thank you Seti, from Switzerland, visiting. Seti just finished his 2nd year as a software engineer intern at Facebook in Menlo Park, California. And fun fact about Seti is he spent 4 weeks at North Carolina Central participating in a Google Computer Science Summer Institute program while he was in high school. The baby, Nija, just started college and received a presidential scholarship to Muhlenberg College and is studying theater and communication. Look for her behind or in front of the camera in the future. I'm so excited about all of them and all the things they've achieved. I can't talk about my organization, Parent Matters, without mentioning my children who were resistant at first, but ultimately coachable and took full advantage of every opportunity I presented to them beginning in middle school. They helped me lay the foundation for this organization. Speaking of foundations, I owe so much to my amazing husband of 25 years, Dr. Victor Vega. Victor recently retired as a college counselor and educator. He has changed thousands of lives over the years, and I'm grateful mine was one of them. This award should honestly have both our names on it. He has provided a fabulous and stable life for me and the children and allowed and encouraged me to follow my dreams and goals. Many times women put their dreams on hold to raise their family, and I'm so grateful and excited to be on this new journey with him as parents of 5 grown people. We did it, and this next chapter will be filled with lots of date nights, cruises around the world, and continuing our journey of exposing Black and brown parents and youth to opportunities through our Parent Matters Blueprint and exposing them at our Opportunity Expos and our Junior Jumpstart programs. I want to thank my amazing and loving siblings who are all on this call, family, friends, my Imagine Me sisters, my line sisters and sorors of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, my Imagine Me sisters, Mocha Mom, and the phenomenal Parent Matters parents and students. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for your love, your support, your prayers of me and my family each and every day. It means the world to me. I especially appreciate the fact that you supported me by purchasing journal ads and donating close to $1,500 for the New Jersey Alumni Association. So thank you so much for your support. I'm grateful to God for blessing me with this vision and assignment that is helping to close the wealth gap for our people. Our tagline at Parent Matters is exposure is everything. Children can't become what they can't see. So through our Opportunity Expos, we are taking youth from the classroom to careers by exposing them to limitless career, vocational mentorship, enrichment, and entrepreneurship opportunities beginning in middle school through high school and beyond college. Parent Matters was created because it wasn't enough for our children to experience incredible enrichment programs, merit scholarships, paid internships related to their passion and goals, and job offers before they graduated college. We want that for all youth, especially those that look like us. We have helped hundreds of students and families, and we want to do more. You can help us by doing a few things. You could host the opportunity booth at our next expo where you could encourage young people by sharing your successful career path and connect them to a pipeline or your network. You could have your company sponsor at our next expo in a city or a school near you. You could encourage a child in your family or neighborhood to take advantage of the Parent Matters holistic system, and encourage high school students to join our Junior Jumpstart webinars. And you could volunteer at one of our upcoming expos that'll be hosted in New Jersey, New York City, and in Martha's Vineyard in 2023. I'm super thrilled to be a new member of the North Carolina Central Alumni Association. I got my Eagle Pride right here. And I recently visited the campus with my youngest daughter and was blown away by the major changes and how big and beautiful the campus is. My soror and North Carolina Central sister, Charlotte, and I thoroughly enjoyed walking the campus and reminiscing. Some of my fondest memories on campus was visiting my nephew, George, at Chidley Hall, homecoming with Alexander O'Neill and Sherelle. And there I chose my daughter's middle name, who's Nadia Sherelle, trying to be an extra in a movie that was being filmed on campus featuring Ray Dong Chong. And then my business law professor, who was a Harvard grad, I remember her distinctly saying when I won a business competition for my company, Smooth Moves, that I would one day be a great entrepreneur. And then of course, my best memory is graduating. So I just want to thank you all. As a new member of the alumni chapter, I'm excited to help bring awareness to our great school and do my best to help our youth attend and, more importantly, graduate into a career, a profession that they choose. I am eternally grateful to God. His blessings are truly unlimited, and I am fully aware that none of this would be possible. This award is not only for me, but for all the unsung heroes like my husband, my sister Renee, Miss Ivory Saunders, who's on this call. I'd love for her to raise her hand. Class of 1956, North Carolina class of 1956, who is a member of the Golden Eagle Club, who has supported North Carolina Central students and raised tons of dollars in chapters in New York, DC, and North Carolina. And all the folks I know and don't know on this Zoom who have accepted their assignment from God and are tirelessly giving in truth and service, which is the North Carolina Central University motto. I see you, but more importantly, God sees you, and you are appreciated, and I love you all. If you haven't already made a donation to North Carolina Central University Alumni Association, please do so now. Thank you again for this true blessing and honor. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce to some and present to others a great and I guess hardworking young man, someone who is making a mark on this society as he has taken his North Carolina Central education and experience to the next level. It is my pleasure to introduce, and I'll read the bio of Mr. Brian Harris. Brian is a program manager for the Bergen County Department of Health Services, where he has been a pleasure of leading a unique team of dedicated individuals in the Division of Public Health Preparedness and Response, a team that was recently charged with the design and staffing of COVID test sites and vaccination sites throughout its jurisdiction. Prior to the post, Brian served as the Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator for the Newark Department of Health and Human Services, managing a grant portfolio of more than $1.3 million in federal and state grants and subcontracts. Responding to numerous public health threats and emergencies, Brian and his team designed and staffed and ran an overnight warming center for the homeless, a program that was able to house and feed up to 350 guests an evening. At the time, one of the largest overnight warming sites in northern New Jersey, with over 20 years experience in volunteering, and also he was 20 years experience in public health. Brian has served in the United States Peace Corps as a rural health volunteer in Honduras, Central America, as well as migrant and seasonal farm work, health, providing technical assistance, outreach, and entrepreneur services to healthcare practices and farm workers and their families. Brian was recently recognized for his leadership and efforts during the pandemic at a 2022 Black History Month celebration of the County of Bergen. He is the former recipient of the Citizens of the Year Award, marking a chapter of the great and illustrious Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Brian holds a BS from North Carolina Central 93 and an MS from Miami University of Oxford, Ohio. In his spare time, Brian is a volunteer Sunday school teacher, and he enjoys watching Netflix movies and playing acoustic guitar. Brian is married and is proud to be a girl dad. Brian pledged Omega Psi Phi Fraternity in 1994, a Beta Iota chapter in Cincinnati. We present to you one of the great guys and upcoming heroes from North Carolina Central, Mr. Brian Harris.
Thank you, Brother Speedy. Thank you for the kind words. I don't know about being a hero, but I'll take it. And as Mike said earlier, I don't know about being a young man anymore with all these gray hairs, but I'll take it. I greatly appreciate it, my brother. I just want to start by saying thank you to everyone for all the kind words and the calls of the congratulatory calls that I've been receiving over the last couple of weeks for this award. I want to thank my family and friends for all the outpour of love that I've been receiving as well. Obviously, I want to thank my co-recipient, Rona Vega, who I've known for many, many moons, which we'll talk about a little later. We were actually connected. There's a bond that's going on there between our families. So I'll share that in just a few minutes. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. I want to say thank you, obviously, to the New Jersey Alumni chapter of NCCU for recognizing me. I know you probably had a ton of individuals. There are a plethora of Eagles in this area doing dynamic work. And I'm glad to be among the group this year. So greatly appreciate it. I thank you. I'm humbled to be a recipient, and I'm grateful. So thank you very much. When Mike first mentioned to me I was nominated for this award, I was pretty much speechless. You know, a lot of times we kind of think, why me? What have I done that's, you know, worthy? But sometimes you have to take a step back and realize that, as someone once told me, we see what you do. We see what the impact. We see your impact. We see what you're up to. We see what you're doing. We see how you're leading your team, and we see how people follow you. Sometimes we get caught up in the weeds and just kind of continue to plow forward, not noticing what our actions are up to and how they impact others. So again, I'm extremely grateful to the NCCU Alumni chapter. When I thought about what I wanted to share, I automatically rewinded to my days at NCCU. There are just a couple of points that I want to make about Central. Some of them I knew were going on while I was on campus, and others I kind of figured out a little bit down the road. A global perspective is something that was a seed that was planted when I was at North Carolina Central. Dr. Ted Parrish was the chairman of the community health department, community health program when I was at school. And I met him because I was encouraged to interview a couple of department chairs while on campus to determine what I wanted to major in. So after I met Dr. Parrish, he had a great sales pitch. He talked about grant management and how I could make an impact in public health, how it's all connected to the clinical side of the medical world, how it's connected to nursing, how public health stands on its own, et cetera. And so he invited me into a class that was mainly juniors and seniors, and I was a freshman at the time. So I go into the class, and long story short, I was sold. But the point that I want to share with you about Ted was in 1990, he told me, he said, Mr. Harris, by the time you're my age, the world will be global. Everything will be connected. And as a 19-year-old, 18-year-old, whatever it was, it didn't make much sense to me. But I said, you know what? You seem to be an honest gentleman. I'm going to take your word for it. But he said, you need to get a head start. You need to think about living abroad. You need to learn a second language. you need to understand how other cultures work and how these languages and cultures collide throughout this world. He says, take it, he says, trust me. This is something that you want to take advantage of. And lo and behold, that gave rise to me joining the United States Peace Corps and serving in Central America, Honduras. It's an experience that I would not trade for the world. It has opened up numerous doors for me back stateside and even on the international side, which I chose to decline. But long story short, that seed would have never been planted had it not been for NC Central. So that's the global perspective. The second perspective that I received was perfection. In the same department, there was Mary Hawkins. Miss Hawkins was one of our professors, and the course that I remember quite vividly was, I forget the title, but it was something of the nature of marketing. And what we really focused on was presenting information, public speaking, writing, being precise and being very descriptive, being able to create a flyer of some sort and having an individual walk past it, glean the information and be satisfied and continue to go within 10, 15 seconds. There's your information, almost like sound bites. I carried that level of perfection with me all throughout my career. And there were some days that I could still hear Mrs. Hawkins saying, honey, you might not want to turn that in. You might want to take another look at that and give it another shot. Now she would take a few points off because now it's late, but better a few points than it being horrible and getting an entire grade lower or 2 grades lower because you didn't give it your best shot. So Mrs. Hawkins wouldn't take anything less than your best. And whatever you gave her, it better be as close to perfection as possible. So the third thing that I learned was mental endurance. Dr. Clark, anatomy and physiology. Dr. Clark was one of our professors who was world renowned. He was a physiologist who was, the folks over at Duke basically were trying to woo him over to Duke University. He would go over in the evening sometimes and teach classes over there. I knew he was top notch because he told me, number one, but number two, when students from Duke were coming to my class to sit in to get the lectures from Dr. Clark, and then when the adults, all right, I'm 19 sitting next to a 40-year-old man who works for GlaxoSmithKline, who's coming in because he needs to take Dr. Clark's class. I was blown away by the professors that were central. And so Dr. Clark, he met with everyone in his class, and maybe 40 or 50 young people in this lecture. And we had a one-on-one twice a semester. And he says, Mr. Harris, you've got a lot of potential. He said, but son, you are going to have to work like the dickens to get out of my class. And I can tell you, honestly, I learned more about the medulla oblongata than I cared to know that semester. I was happy to get a B from the first round and happy to get my C+ and keep moving and get out of there for the second round. But what it did for me was it taught me how to study. I learned how to study in his class and from other students. And so I take that same kind of energy on work projects that I have to this day. The last point is physical endurance coupled with solving problems during an emergency or solving problems under pressure. It's the best way I could coin the phrase. Football coach, Hank Lattimore. I played on a very special football team. We're called the 88 team. We basically, prior to these days, we had one of the best records. 9 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. We're the first team to go out to the NCAA playoffs. We went out to Sacramento State and basically got beat up, but that's in the rearview mirror at this point. But what I learned that year was that no matter what the scoreboard said, as long as there was time on the clock, the coach made us believe that we had a chance. 2 minutes left in the game, down 2 touchdowns, and I looked down the sideline. Now I'm a freshman, and just to paint a quick picture, freshmen, we get hazed. You get your head shaved bald. They call you bonehead all season. You carry bags, you carry dummies, and you do whatever the upperclassmen ask you to do. But that's the entire season. And if you go undefeated, they shave your head again at the end of the season, which we got lucky. We didn't want to get our head shaved twice. What happened that season was magical, because what I noticed looking down the sideline was all this pressure coming from the game, and the coach was cool and calm as a cucumber. He was trying to solve the problem of basically winning this game. And I looked at the upperclassmen, everyone was leaning forward. at no point did anyone have any doubt that we were going to lose that game with only 2 minutes left. And I knew at that point I was in a very special place. Long story short, we won that football game and many others and ended up in the same situation. But what I learned from Hank Lattimore that day or that season was no matter how great the pressure is, you have to deal with the adversity and you have to find a solution in a quick amount of time. And you can't pass that pressure on to the people below you or next to you. If the pressure's coming from the top, you have to manage it. What I also learned from that football team was with 3 captains on defense, those gentlemen found a way. They were basically middle management. The head coach and the other coaches were the top. And when the pressure came down, those captains made it very comfortable for us to have fun, produce, and it just gelled. We were a well-oiled machine. So in hindsight, I learned that that football team was basically my introduction to a business, to business. When you get into a work environment, it's the same thing. So all these moving parts and someone finds out how to make them gel together. So those were 4 points that I walked away with, unbeknownst to me, from North Carolina Central that I'm grateful for because I use them to this day, especially dealing with adversity, responding to emergencies, keeping everyone around me calm while we come up with a solution, regardless of the politicians that are coming in the room barking, regardless of the directors that are coming in the room barking, we find a way to get it done in a calm, cool environment. And I have to attribute that to Coach Lattimore, the seniors on that team, and everyone else, but directly it's from North Carolina Central. And I have to say thank you. I'm grateful to NCCU because many moons ago, they took a rusty young joker from New Jersey, and they were able to shape and mold me into a productive citizen I'm at a loss for a word, but a productive citizen and a very disciplined young man. I have to apologize in advance. I'm a middle-aged man and I have a middle-aged memory. So every now and again, I'll lose a word, but I'll get it before we go. So I wanted to share that based on my experience at North Carolina Central. It has been tremendous. I am ecstatic about being back in the alumni chapter here in New Jersey. I also want to say those were the 4 points, but there's actually a 5th point. The friendships that I've gained from North Carolina Central are immense. I have lifelong friends that will take the shirt off their backs to this day if needed. This morning I was on a prayer call with football players. We had a family and friend day. When I talk to my buddies across the country and other colleges and universities, they don't have this type of connection that we share at North Carolina Central. And it's not just football team, it's not just fraternities. There's something special about NCCU. And it is apparent when you walk on campus. And I do want to give a special shout to the university for the plan that they've rolled out. And just to double back really quickly, I don't know how I'm looking on time, but going back to Dr. Parrish, my freshman year, he and I would have conversations on a regular basis. And he would basically share with me what was going on. And he told me about this lawsuit that the university was having with the North Carolina school system and how we weren't receiving our fair share of funding from the state. Fast forward 20 some odd years later, the case is rectified and Central and some other universities received their funding. But what Dr. Parrish had also told me about was this master plan that the university continued to march forward with. That master plan, I'm sure they made some tweaks, but that master plan is what you see at NCCU now. So every time I walk on campus and see a new facility, my brain goes right back to my conversation with Dr. Parrish in 1987 and 1988. So I have learned a great deal from NCCU and the professors that are there. And if the young lady from Central is still on the line, I just want to say thank you. So many of our students have tough times. You can't just blame the university. Sometimes you got to go over the hump. And I'm just proud to say that I found that person, those individuals to help me along the way. And obviously, as Rona mentioned earlier, I'll just put it this way. An older gentleman once told me that all things are possible through God and Christ. And, you know, as my buddy Britt Mobley says, he may be on the line. Won't he do it? And that's when the church says, yes, he will. So I know I've probably gone over my time, but thank you again for this award. I am truly humbled and grateful, and I look forward to doing more great things with the New Jersey Alumni chapter. I want to thank all of my friends who are on the call. I have some friends from graduate school, got some friends from undergrad. I think Teresa and Belinda may be on there. Give a wave if you're on there from graduate school over at Miami of Ohio. And just really quickly, of course, I get to Miami of Ohio and I don't see another Black person for the first week. And then all of a sudden, everybody that came from an HBCU, we just start bumping into one another. And we have our own little HBCU all over again. Teresa's from Fisk. We had folks from Hampton. We had a cluster of folks from Hampton, NC Central, Savannah State. And one thing I can say is we all have some very commonalities in our experience from HBCUs. So shout out to all the HBCUs. And thanks again. I want to thank my wife and my daughter for all of their support. I don't have a listing, Rona, of 5. I have one, and she is at Clark Atlanta University this year. She is a sociology and criminal justice major. I thought I saw a couple of teammates on there. I think I saw you, Witherspoon. Thanks for jumping on. And then just really quickly, the connection between Rona and I. True story here. When I went to visit North Carolina Central, I stayed with Rona and her family before we could get into the dormitory. So we stayed and Rona and her family gave us a tour of NC Central. And then the following day, we checked into one of the dormitories on George Street. I don't recall which one it was, but there wasn't any air conditioning. That I remember. And then secondly, the connection gets greater. So my best friend in high school and childhood is George Harriott, who is Rona's nephew, right? So George and I are in the dormitory one weekend, and my dad told me that my cousin was getting married, my cousin TC, who lives over in Statesville. And so I said, all right, I'll make sure I get over to the wedding. And for some reason, an exam came up. For some reason, I couldn't make it to Statesville. So George and I stayed on the same floor in Chitley Hall. So I said, all right, I'll walk over and see what George is up to this weekend because I don't know what I'm going to do other than study. So George comes out of the room and says, hey, I was supposed to go to a wedding, but I can't make it. I have a test and I need to study. I said, yeah, me too. I said, who's getting married? Oh, my cousin Stephanie. Oh, okay, cool. Where does she live? Oh, Troutman. Oh, my cousin's in Statesville. He's supposed to get married as well. And I said, George says, I think Statesville's close to Troutman. I said, bro, I never heard of Troutman. Let me call my dad. Dad, Troutman, Statesville, how far apart are they? Oh, they're right next door. He says, your cousin TC, his fiance, she's from Troutman. What's her name? Stephanie. Oh, you got to be kidding me. And so Stephanie and TC got married. And so now I'm cousins with my best friend. And so that's how Rona and I are connected. That's the quick story. And so look on here, I thought I saw 1 or 2 of her sons, maybe Teji or Sethi. I wish I could have grown a beard that big. I believe that was one of your sons. The last time I saw them, they were probably in junior high or high school at maybe a homecoming or a football game. But God bless you and your family. God bless everyone on the call. Thanks for all the support, everyone. Love you and look forward to doing great things with you. Aunt Renee, I see you over there. I look forward to seeing everyone soon and family and friends. I know I have some Eagle family on here from Statesville who are in Arkansas. Special shout out to Betty Ann and Frederick. Great to see everyone. Thank you and I love you. Take care.
Good afternoon, everyone, family and friends. Congratulations to the 2, Ariana and Austin, the 2 graduates. It was wonderful. God bless you on your endeavors. And congratulations to our awardees. As we can say, Eagle Pride Amplified. I want to first present the Eagle. Can you see it? It says, New Jersey chapter, North Carolina Central University Alumni Association presents its 14th annual chapter Eagle Image Award to Rona Vega, October 15th, 2022. You will receive congratulations to all that you do, and we are so happy to have you in our chapter. The other awardee is to Brian. Brian, we're glad you're back. Your Eagle, New Jersey chapter NCCU Alumni Association presents the 14th annual chapter Eagle Image Award to Brian Harris, October 15th, 2022. This you will get in the mail. We thank you, and we're very proud of both of you, and we are so proud that you are a part of our family and actively working with us. Thank you so much. And now I have the honor to, if we can have a moment of silence for our fallen hero, one of our members, Joyce Thurman, who passed away in January. She was an active member, and we just want to recognize her at this time. So we could just give a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. She will be missed.
Okay. I thought that was a great presentation by both of the awardees. We are very proud of you also. Next, we are going to have a brief interlude for 5 minutes. We want you to go get a drink, a libation, and we shall toast the awardees. Our saxophonist, internationally known, Anthony Nelson, will come forward. And then after that, after 5 minutes, we shall toast the awardees. And from there, a membership and endowment appeal by Mr. William Marsh, and closing remarks by our former Vice President, Mr. Alvin Rush, and our alma mater, and then we will adjourn to the chat room for those that want to do that. Thank you.
Hey, Mo.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
That was a test to see if you could hear me. Everyone have their glasses? All right, Eagles and friends, would you proudly join me in raising your glass to two individuals who truly believe in the words truth and service? Two stewards that have let the works that they've done speak for them. We're so proud of your accomplishments, and we're so glad to call you fellow Eagles. So on behalf of the Eagle Nation, especially here in Jersey, we lift up this toast for all the ways you represent and all the things that you do for NCCU. A toast for our awardees.
Yes.
You're here.
Thank you.
Here.
Here. Thank you.
Thank you.
well, I have I guess the easy job today because of our awardees, such outstanding individuals who made a significant mark on the nation, not just North Carolina Central, but the nation. So I'm appealing today on behalf of the NCCU, New Jersey Alumni, to not only help us with donations for our endowment, but to help our chapter. As you may well know, that the cost for being a North Carolina Central alumni member is not overwhelming. Matter of fact, it's kind of cheap. I think Michael had caucus us about making it a little bit more expensive. But for right now, it's $50 for national and $25 for local. But it's also a one-time donation you can make for $100, and that money goes to the extra 25 goes to the national, and they give us some of it back for our endowment. I am challenging everyone today to make a commitment between now and next June to bring in 5 North Carolina Central graduates that that live in New Jersey, that have done some great things, but also they graduated from a great university. So with that in mind, I'm challenging everybody on this call to make a pledge to bring in 1 to 5 members to our NCCU alumni chapter between now and June. So we can all do that, we grow. And from our testimony from the 2 young people that are there now, we know that we're on the right track and that we're here to service and help those in North Carolina Central in any way we can. So take that challenge and make it happen and make our New Jersey NCCU alumni chapter even greater and stronger. And for that, God will bless us for our works that we do. Thank you.
Well, if you're looking at me,
We
that
are.
means we're at the end of the program. The beauty of being the person who's last on the program to speak is that I, in this case, don't have to clean up anything. I'm amazed by the young people who came on and talked about their experience at North Carolina Central. I'm very sad always when I hear them nowadays because they've been denied several years of the experiences that we had. But we've been able to support them, and we will continue to support them. Today's honorees made all of us look good. So now whenever anybody sees North Carolina Central and sees one of them, they'll say, wow, that place produce some really remarkable people. I am amazed how many people have a connection. Harris talked about the fact he's connected to Rona by relationship, blood relationship. I talked to her a couple of months ago, came to find out that she knows my sister. Her husband worked with my sister for over 25 years. We're all connected. And as we continue to be connected, we need to also keep in mind that things like this event and things like this alumni association need to continue on because things are changing. Things are changing. And the North Carolina Central that you went to in the not too distant future will not look like the Central you went to. And I'm not talking about the buildings, I'm talking about the people. So we have to support the university and support our people at the university. And as we continue to do this, we will continue to consolidate and amplify the name and the value of North Carolina Central University. I want to thank everybody who came on the program today. I want to remind you all that normally in the past, this was an in-person event. Normally in the past, you would have probably paid $75 to $100 for a ticket, had a luncheon with food that was okay. But today, you get to sit wherever you are, enjoy the program, and when we finish, go fix the meal that you love. So don't forget to make a donation. The donation is what supports this organization. This organization has been here more than, I think, 55 years. It will continue to be here only if we support it by our actions and by our finances. But I want to thank everybody who came. I want to thank everybody who came and invited someone. And I want to thank you all and ask you to continue to participate. We have a meeting every month, the second Saturday. We have a meeting at 2 and a meeting at 4. They're all online. Click and join us. Thanks a lot. Now you will hear a phenomenal song called the Alma Mater. And if you know all the words, I'm be amazed.
Blossoms